This says busiest beaver.
I know, it says busiest.
No.
Oh, you screwed that up, didn't you? I guess we have to go back, don't we? We're wasting a lot of tape. Give me that! God, I can't think. I need more Mullins.
Hey, and welcome back to The Office Field Guide. I'm Chris from Wolverine Films. We're reviewing every episode of The Office ever. Today we're looking at Season 2, Episode 1, entitled The Dundies. The Dundies is the first episode of the second season of The Office, or 7th overall. It was written by Mindy Kaling and directed by Greg Daniels. It originally aired in September of 2005 and was viewed by about 9 million people, which is way up from where the last season ended. This is undeniably related to Steve Carell's role in the breakout hit, 40-Year-Old Virgin, that released about a month and a half earlier than this premiere.
It was so good and Bruce Almighty.
The setup for this episode is very simple, and it revolves mostly around a non-company sponsored event in which Michael Scott gets to MC a show and hand out invented awards to his staff. So let's release the Dundies.
No one asked you anything ever?
Deep breaths, everyone. Season 2 has officially started. The more I researched this one, the more I found out that there was a lot of things to talk about, so I'm going to give you as much as I can in the shortest amount of time. The first thing I wanted to talk about was that there was some drama with The Office shooting on location at the Chili's. The story goes that NBC and Chili's had an initial agreement on allowing the show to be shot there, but the script was delayed. By the time that Chili's saw the final script, they were actually upset when they saw that Pam was going to get drunk and vomit all over the Chili's. Chili's then backed out of the deal. But Carell came up with a compromise of scrapping the vomit and having Pam just fall from a chair and Dwight's overreaction. Chili's still wasn't very comfortable about Pam getting overly intoxicated in the restaurant, so the script was changed to show Pam swiping other people's drinks. And this clip of the manager was tacked on at the end so that Chili's could maintain their family-friendly brand. And I actually thought it worked out great for them. Having one of the most harmless characters barred from a Chili's is pretty funny. And it's also been discussed that Jenna Fisher doesn't drink much alcohol, so BJ Novak took her out to get her drunk to watch how she behaved, and this way he could provide some tips on her mannerism while she was intoxicated. And there's honestly a ton of Michaelisms and other funny stuff from this episode, but I'll throw in some clips along the way. Instead, I want to briefly talk about the optimism presented in this episode. With Carell's star power on the rise, NBC wanted to shift the tone of the show from a darker, bleaker look at the American workplace into the lighter, more upbeat show that we've all come to know and love. This episode marks a first in that effort, but I think this is the moment that's pivotal for the entire show.
Yay, Kevin! Woohoo! For Kevin! For sticking up the bathroom!
This is the first time that Michael Scott is humanized in the series. And if Jim and Pam, mostly Pam in this case, our voice of reason and center of balance in this show is standing up for Michael Scott, then we, as the audience, are presented with the question, would we also stand up for Michael? At this point in the series, with everything we've seen, I think the answer is a resounding no, but the writers merely forcing us to ask the question to ourselves, and then seeing Michael throughout the remainder of this episode, they're already working really hard to arc his character. And I have more to say about that, but let's dive into the deeper meaning for that. Well, wait, okay. I don't want to be weird about this sign, but now I'm obsessed. Is it just me, or did the sign get smaller? What is this advertising? Okay, now on to the deeper meaning.
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
I believe the thesis of this episode is recognition. Michael's take on this is shown in his monologue early on.
And he'll tell his neighbor, hey, did you get an award? And the neighbor will say, no, man. I mean, I slave all day. Nobody notices me.
And Michael's pretty bullheaded, forcing his employees to attend this event.
Are like a car wreck that you want to look away, but you have to stare at it because your boss is making you.
Even after he's been told there's no budget for the event, Michael coerces his employees to bring their spouses just to increase their commitment to be there. But why does he do this? Well, do a quick Google search. Why is recognition important? You'll get a ton of responses. According to Google, 283 billion results in 0.62 seconds. Most of those probably aren't going to be relevant, but recognition in the workplace, in the community, and in our family units are ways that we can express that someone's presence is important to us. And sometimes just knowing that you're seen, knowing that you're recognized, is more than enough to keep you going. And you can show recognition to us just by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. And Michael seems to get this pretty clearly. And maybe it's just me reading into this, but he seems to be suggesting in his monologue that he wishes he would get that recognition that he's also trying to give to others. Part of Michael's issue, though, is that he recognizes people for things that they'd rather not be recognized for. However, after Michael is recognized for something he doesn't want to be...
You know what, guys? We're just having a little office party, so if you want to... Hey, cool it, guys, really.
You suck, man.
He's then stood up for by Jim and Pam, which is an act of recognition in it and of itself. And it's at this point in the show that something changes.
Let's give Michael a round of applause for emceeing tonight, because this is a lot harder than it looks.
Junk Pam starts emboldening Michael to carry on with the show, and Jim and the rest of the staff follow along. Stanley even comes up to do a speech, and we see this grump crack some jokes, and even Kevin is now having fun with the demeaning award that he received. From here, and this is purely speculation, Michael gives Pam the Whitest Shoes Award, which is so basic and funny, but I think it's completely possible that Michael, reading the room and the energy and understanding the value of positively recognizing somebody, might have thought, I shouldn't give her this longest engagement award. So I think he called an audible at the last minute. He announced that Pam won the Whitest Shoes Award, but the award was really still just the longest engagement. After all, when would he have had time to change the words on the trophy from longest engagement to Whitest Sneakers? That's neither here nor there, though. I think boiled down, this message is that sometimes we can make someone's day better just by speaking a kind word and recognizing them and their unique role in our life. We even get to see this play out in this moment where Michael gives Dwight some recognition for his work and the success of the evening.
Great work tonight, Winchester. Excellent.
Thanks.
That's that too, but I mean with the audio. Great work.
So whoever knew that an episode about the Dundies would be so deep? Or I don't know, maybe this whole episode was just an opportunity to introduce us to the multiple faces of Michael Scott.
The PLO, the IRA, and the hot dog stand behind the warehouse. Name 3 businesses that have better health care plans than Dunder Mifflin.
The Dundies! How can I explain it? A word you I created. I'm happy that you all made it. You never have to work so hard and feel no notices. You can't relish it good.
Oh, good. I'm just in time for ping.
Oh, that'll be fair. And Mr. Horny. Right? You know what gives you the right?
Alright, and I don't know if this is just the battle scars of season 1 showing its wares on me, but this episode is really good, and I didn't even get into the Jim and Pam stuff that much.
Yeah!
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. What? Oh my god.
Hey, can I ask you a question? I just wanted to say thanks.
I give this episode a 4 out of 5. In the DVD commentary, it's mentioned that Daniels had the idea for this episode based on similar events that he attended while he was working on the King of the Hill show. In fact, he wanted to base the pilot on this concept, but NBC found it too risky. I think this is a great way to start fleshing out characters. What better way to really drill in what the characters are like than to see them in an uncomfortable after-work party in which awards are being given based on their personality quirks and sometimes their work. But with that, let's hand out some Dundies of our own.
Then I gotta get him to the Dundies.
Dundies on the Dundie episode. I knew this day would come, and here we are. The Dundie for the creator of the Dundies, Dundie MC with the most Dundies, goes to Michael Scott.
Honey, keep the trophies.
Oh, honey, I have the best trophy right here, aside from my Dundee.
Oh.
And are we to believe that Michael at some point during every Dundie ceremony awards himself with a Dundie?
I think that pretty much sums it up. I found it at Spencer Gifts.
Yeah, that checks out. All right, and the God is in this Chili's award goes to Jenna Fisher and Chili's.
Because God gave me this Dundie, and I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
I just love this exchange that occurred in 2017 between Jenna Fisher and Chili's on Twitter, in which Fisher tweeted this photo with a caption that says, "Should I try to go in?" That prompted a response from Chili's saying, "We hope that you felt God in this Chili's tonight." Then they followed that up with another tweet referencing a press release removing Pamela Beasley Halpert's total ban from the restaurant chain. And with that, we want to congratulate the Dundie winners, and I want to thank you for watching this field guide on the Dundies. Today in the comments, if Michael Scott personally invited you to the Dundies, what award would you get? And I really appreciate you watching. Do us a favor, like this video if you didn't already when we begged you to. Subscribe to the channel, give us that recognition. Click the bell thing if you want to be notified. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at the sexual harassment episode. Whew. All right, we'll get to that one next week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Grr.